Executive Director of the Charter Oak Cultural Center. I actually didn't put my glasses on to figure that out. Thanks for coming to celebrate Juneteenth and the end of slavery in the United States. Each year it is an absolute honor to host this commemoration with our beloved partners, Sankofa Kuumba. As you know, this year is particularly special because it marks the 150th anniversary of the Emancipation Proclamation. What is sad is that 150 years after its passage, racism continues to plague us, slavery still exists in both blatant and more insidious ways, and although strides have been made, including the election of an African-American president here in this country, equality for all people still tragically eludes us. So our gathering today is very important. We stand in solidarity with one another, commemorating the courageous act of Abraham Lincoln, recognizing the limits of what he accomplished, and as a community committing ourselves anew to promises yet unfulfilled, so that slavery at long last may be banished from our midst. It is our bond today that will lift us from the bondage that still afflicts us. May we find inspiration in each other's company to work even harder, that the sweet waters of justice may flow freely and abundantly in our land and in every land. Again, thank you for coming, and from the bottom of my heart, welcome.
have to take our places. We in the community have to stop standing alone.
Yes.
Have to stop standing alone. We lose if we're standing alone. Emancipation Proclamation. What is emancipation? 150 years. They said we were free. It is 2013, 150 years. Are we free? We're going to take a walk to the ancient burial grounds and do a ring shout to our ancestors to let them know we know who they are. We know what they did, and we're going to ring shout to them. Come back here. And my sister, Pat Johnson, will be one of the people. Could you stand up, Pat Johnson? Will be one of the sisters, one of the brothers that will be talking about emancipation. What was it? What was it not? And I'm inviting you back to listen to panel. Brother, could you stand up? Anyone that's on the panel now, could you please stand up? Yes, a gentleman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have three people that are here that will be answering questions on the panel. We invite you to come back and talk about it.
I can't help it if I walk fast.
Beautiful day. Can I get an ashe? Ashe! Because it was raining pretty hard the last 2-3 days and last week. And it's beautiful out today. So it must have been written that we should be here today together. We already had a beautiful celebration of our ancestors at the sanctuary at Charter Oak. And now you're all here to participate in another section of the performance. And you're going to perform now. I didn't put that in the program on purpose. I didn't want anybody to chicken out. But this part of the program is about all of us coming together. It's not about, everybody in here has a little bit of artist in them. Everybody has some art in them. We all have our ancestors within us. So in the spirit of that, we are going to all participate in what's called a ring shout. And hopefully you saw some of it in your program. We need to get ourselves into a good circle, like single file-ish, if you guys that are doubled up. There you go. And this is not dancing, it's a very easy side step. I'm gonna have everybody stepping to the left because it's a counterclockwise circle. So I'm gonna step forward a little bit so I can show you. Just a step to the left like this. Step together, step together, step together, step together, step together, step together. There you go. That's easy enough, right? I won't make y'all do anything more than that. I really won't. I really won't. We've invited all of you to be a part of this on this sacred ground in honor of our ancestors that are buried here, the ones that never got a proper burial, whether it be in Hartford, Harlem, New York, Chicago, in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. They couldn't write home, they couldn't call for help, they couldn't get any kind of assistance. So we are here marching on this ground to make sure they know that we remember them. We honor them.
Down, true, sad, or lift here. Let's do this really nice and strong. I want to be what I can be, to be proud, healthy, and free. I want to say what I know to help my brothers and sisters grow. I want to feel good about me and blame no one for my misery. And blame no one for my misery. Cause I'll be strong to turn it around. I want to go up, I'm not going down. Want to do what I can do to make all my dreams come true. Remember my past, the good and bad, how I made it art even when it was sad. I want to share whatever my gift, and when you're feeling low, I'll give you a hug. I want to live without fear and know that I'm blessed for being here. Know that you're blessed for being here. Know that we're blessed for being here. Know that we're blessed.
I would like to please acknowledge the elder here. Anyone 60 and over, please come step forward. Anyone 60 and over, please step forward. Anyone 60 and over, don't try to hold your age. Anyone 60 and over, please step forward. Come on, y'all. Let me just say, all of you hold hands. All of those folks at 60 and over, put your stuff down. Nobody gonna take it. We got honest people here. They're here as the elders, representing. Hello, I'm talking. Elders are here to represent and give you the knowledge that you need in order to grow. Young folks, 25 and under, take 2 steps forward. Young folks, 25 and under, take 2 steps over. 21 and under, 2 steps forward. Come up, brother. 2 more steps forward. 2 more steps forward. Okay, let me tell you something, and hear me. Don't take no attitude when I say this. It takes living to be grown. You have not lived. It takes living and experiences to be grown. You're not. These elders will give you information, and you might say, they don't know what they're talking about, but they do. They do. They have lived it. They have been in it. And these people here have witnessed the dying of many of our heroes. Right now in these Hartford areas, we don't have too many people, legislative people, speaking for what we need for our children. Yes. We need education. Yes. We need quality education. Yes. We need quality education. Yes. We need better housing. Yes. And if you that have stepped forward don't begin to speak to the politicians, to the educators. We died. Our children will not be readers, thinkers, critical thinkers, to speak for themselves. We are here in this burial ground saying, you took 2 steps, you took 2 more. Understand, you are the makers from here on in. We can advise you, but you have to listen. You have to listen. And don't judge us when we make mistakes. Because we grown. And you're not. Would anybody else like to say something before we join hands? Step back, young folks. 4 steps back. And understand the elders have much to give. Much to give you. Politicians that are here. Politicians that are here. Do you have anything to say to these folks that's at this ring show? Trying to make things in Hartford better. What do you have to say?
We're with you.
All right now. And your name, so we know, so the children know.
Edwin Vargas, Angel Arce.
Okay, these are 2 people that's for us. Did you hear them? Vote for them.
I have something to say.
Please say it.
Education is a must and qualification count.
Go ahead, Carter.
I just want to say, if you don't read, you don't know. You ought to read a book a month. There's some unbelievable books, African history, African American history, Caribbean history. Read a book a month. The other thing, there's a website called blackvoices.com, news and information every day about what's going on in our community all around the country. Read a book a month. Why can't you read a book a month on our history, our culture?
Yeah. 150 years later, from what I can see, we have come a great distance. I know a lot of people like to talk about the deficit. I like to talk about the advancement. I see African people here in America as an advancement of Africa. I don't see us taking steps backwards. I see us moving forward. I had the pleasure of being on Goree Island in January. And that's the island where many of us, I believe a total of 8 million of us, were put on the boats at Goree and brought over to these shores. And I did a poem about what we brought back to Goree. So we come back with R&B. We come back with hip-hop. We come back with jazz. We come back with a whole bunch of gifts that the world has appreciated. We have never lost Africa. Africa has been with every one of us. And we even have white people who have been as African as black people because they want that soul. And they know that the soul matters. We have got some things to work through. Me being a member of the Last Poets, understand, I wage war against niggers. I'm going to be very straightforward. I did not wage war against white people. We knew the problem was resting with us. We knew if we could get the nigger out of our system, we could have unity, we could work together, we could build anything we needed for our communities.
We have taken the arts, which are, by the way, the highest level of intelligence, and do you understand what it takes to bust a move? Come on. You have got to create the concept of that move in your mind, which has downloaded every move you ever made since you were in the womb.
Right.
So now it has to separate all that out. Then it has to send a message which now translates that move into nerves and bones and muscles and air and elevation, and then you make the move. And how fast can you make the move, Joe? In a minute. If you look, and I'm talking about this part of it because we very often get fooled into thinking that we are not intelligent and our kids are not intelligent. And that is one of those things, and I'm not denying the intelligence of any human being on the planet. We are all intelligent beings. But it's really important to reflect on our ability to create mathematical moves that no one recognizes to be mathematical. If I stand here and I throw a ball and it lands in a hole on the other side of the room, what do I have to understand? I have to understand the same thing that makes a plane fly. But I don't understand that I understand that, and you don't understand that I understand that. You say, well, they don't even want to learn how to read, they just want to play basketball. But if we understood the relationship between what we already know, and that's every human being, and what there is to be known, and that learning is a process of connecting what you know with new information, then all of us would understand that we're in a process. And that we have an extremely high level, and I'm not just talking about people of color, although it is clear that the thing that this nation gave to the world was what? Our music. What is music? It's the ability to do a very high level of math, like poetry and movements, etc. So I'm not saying that anybody else lacks anything. I'm saying it is important to recognize that in 150 years, we have survived and prospered. And that we are in the very best shape to deal with all that's going down here. There's a chart on income inequity that says the poorest people are off the chart. The poor people and the middle class people are almost flatlined, and the 6% own over 90-some% of the wealth. Do you know how prepared we are for dealing with being flatlined? That's intelligence. We not only can survive, we can create and we can grow. So I just invite you to consider in 150 years, we did not leave Africa as slaves. And emancipation, you can't be free if somebody lets you be free. How is that possibly going to happen? Nobody can emancipate anybody. We live in a society and we live in a culture, and we're part of that society and culture, and we better believe that we are acculturated to the extent possible. If we understand ourselves, if we understand how we think, what we think and why we think, and question ourselves, what do things mean? And instead of judging ourselves and others, raise the question, what does it mean? It will become evident to you that in 150 years we have not only survived and prospered, but the potential is off the chain.
You take those roots and bring them forward. Never forget your roots. Too many of our young people do not deal with who they are. And if you do not know Africanism before Christ, and where we are today, there is so much information out there for young people with gadgets. It's accessible. We have to teach our children to go back, know who you are. We got brilliant children. That's true. Brilliant children. And their minds are not being challenged. We have to stop. We have to look. We have to listen. and be attentive to what the system is taking our children. You, your son, his son. We have to build the direction. We have to deal with the direction that we're going to go in. Not this way the system is doing it, because you know, prisons are going like this.
Yes, they are.
Schools are going like this.
Yeah.
We have to change. We can see, we're not blind. We know that we must have readers so that they can be curious of what's in those books. And not having high school kids that can't even read. That's got to change. To answer your question. Pass it on.
Information age. That's right. I have a 10-year-old who can go on the internet and be anywhere in the world in a few minutes. All right? The problem is that we take the information and we struggle with the transformation. So there's a lot of information, but we struggle with transforming. And that, my sister, is the issue. We've got a lot of smart babies, but they are stuck in the birth canal. And many of them are breech. Okay? And that is the problem, because we have lost the science of birthing genius into the world. Whole lot of smart, ignorant people in our community. When you walk around and your phone is called smart. Come on. You know something going on.